Y'all, the DNC was, in one word, a lituation. The DNC was a freaking party. The DNC was popping as hell. Y'all, when I tell you I ain't never watched no goddamn Democratic or Republican National Convention over the years, of course I've watched clips, of course I've watched speeches, of course I've tapped in and out. But I never actually really watched a full on convention. Y'all, I watched almost this whole entire convention. Whenever I was home and I was available and it was on, I was tuned in and locked in. The DNC electrified. For 5 days, they were out there tearing it up. And so let's just get into some of these highlights, y'all. Obviously, we had the big speeches, the big orators came out. Michelle Obama came out. Obviously, Barack Obama came out. I loved Michelle's speech. Her speech probably was one of the standouts for me. She ate down. I ain't gonna lie. She ate down so hard that I was wondering if she was trying to run for president next time around. Because as we all know, the DNC especially is a place where they like to launch new talent coming up the pipe. Remember, that's where Barack Obama got his start in the 2004 DNC when John Kerry picked him when he was just a senator, I believe a junior senator, picked him to speak at the DNC, and he had that monumental speech that he gave. And that was the beginning of his career really taking off. And then, because of him, now we have Kamala, and she had a lot of great moments in previous DNCs as well. So when I saw Michelle Obama, I was like, baby girl, you trying to let people know something? Because she didn't come to play. She spoke, y'all. She spoke, and I love that for her. We also had Jasmine Crockett. Remember we talked about Jasmine Crockett? Bleach, blonde, bad built, butch body. Yes, that queen. Texas Representative Jasmine Crockett. She spoke. One of the things I loved about her speech is that she told an endearing story about how when she met Kamala Harris, that she was going through it at the time, and Kamala just saw through it and was like, "What's up? How you doing?" And she talked about how she as soon as Kamala asked her, "How are you?" she busts out into tears. And it was just there was another Black woman, Simone Sanders Townsend, who is a commenter, or she has a show actually on MSNBC, and she talked about how she had a very similar experience with Kamala, and it was such a sweet moment as a Black woman, because it's as Black women, we all know that moment, yo. We be holding it in so hard. We hold it in so hard. We just be getting bruised and battered and dragged and beaten, and we just hold it in so hard until one of our sisters comes along and be like, "Girl, you okay?" As soon as they say that, it's just the ugly cry comes out, and you're like, "No, I'm not okay." And that was such an endearing moment to hear her say that story, to hear Simone Sanders share that story. And as a Black woman, I know, trust me, I have cried on many a Black woman's shoulders behind closed doors when nobody was looking. And it was just such an endearing moment. Also, AOC came out. She came out, she dragged Trump. Not surprised, they're both from Queens. We also had the Clintons came out, both of them. Hillary, got a resounding standing ovation. We had, what's my girl? Elizabeth Warren came out. We had so many amazing speeches. A lot of people came out, a lot of powerhouse speeches, and it was really quite electrifying. I will say probably the highlight of the highlights of the DNC, y'all, was the roll call. The freaking roll call, y'all. I was at home watching the DNC coverage, and they were like, "Okay, we're gonna, patch into this roll call." And I was like, roll call? Who the fuck wants to watch a goddamn roll call? Y'all, little did I know. The roll call was going to be the most populous part of the whole entire DNC, y'all. The whole entire DNC. When I tell you, I watched that roll call from the first date to the last state. And when I tell you, it had me up in my seat, it had me up on my feet, it had me gassed, jumping, singing, dancing. First of all, this was the first time in history that the roll call was done in this fashion. Usually the roll call, it's supposed to be a party, it's supposed to be happy and exciting, but it was never done in this fashion. First of all, they had DJ Cassidy, who was DJing, which, by the way, DJ Cassidy drives me crazy. He's so freaking annoying. However, I will say he's a really good DJ. That fool is a good DJ. And he created a playlist between him and the states themselves approving. He created a playlist where he played a song that represented every single state when they did their roll call. And it was it was such a vibe. And because he's a good DJ, he had a whole eclectic mix of music. And I think, everybody will agree that the toughest, the tightest, the littiest moment of that roll call was Georgia's roll call. Y'all, Georgia, let me just show you, because when I was watching this in real time, I was like, what the hell? Let me show you Georgia's roll call, because they ate down. They won the DNC. They won the DNC, and they won the DNC roll call.